Hi, folks. This is Community Health Matters with me, your host, Karen Maleski, bringing to you conversations that lift the discussion to the question, what is real health and how do we cultivate and maintain it? From those in the community with experience and expertise in areas relevant to this topic, to better understand relationships between cause and effect, thereby empowering you, the listener, with choices to effect your best in health. My guest today is Travis Carper, Executive Director of the nonprofit 3decrees.org, as well as Ascension Health Coach. We'll be giving good focus to a special form of water, OH H2O, sometimes called H3O2, or structured water, also known as the fourth phase of water. Hi, Travis. Thank you so much for taking the time out and rearranging your plans.
Yeah, no problem.
So that you could be with us here today. So before we get into your nonprofit and exploring the wonderful 3 decrees, could we actually start out with this special form of water? And could you break it down for the folks?
Okay.
What is it? And how could it be any better than our much cherished H2O?
Well, there's a lot of information on vortexed water, structured water. Really, actually, all it really is, like when you go to Mount Shasta and you get the water from the artesian well, and it's a spring water and it's got extra trace minerals in it, and it's been vortexed because it goes down through rivers, and then also hopefully it picks up a little bit of the chlorophyll because there's plants in the water, So anyways, that water sometimes picks up other molecules, right? So it's not that it combines it. In chemistry, they say, well, it can't be combined or something. I don't know. Anyways, what does happen though is extra molecules can attach itself to these things. So they call it structured water or vortex water or, just the natural water we used to drink. And here's why it's so important. So let me explain, because our avatars, will call our biological body and our biofield physiology, we'll call it an avatar, okay? This is what we're utilizing, a human avatar. It's mostly, here's the perspective, it's mostly water and microorganisms held together by an electromagnetic field. Water is a superconductor, right?
So it's water with what attached to it?
What are you talking about?
Oh, you just explained the structure.
I'm talking about our biological bodies, our water, our avatar, okay? Okay, so, yeah, right now, and I'll get back to that. There's a reason why I'm trying to get to this, is that... our body water, it's hot. It's a superconductor water. You put electricity in it, it's a superconductor, right? Mm-hmm. And so when we drink reverse osmosis, this is where I'm going, or distilled water, or whatever, it's kind of just sitting there. It's not energized, right? Okay. And so here's what happens. We drink like regular water or distilled water, reverse osmosis water, and our body has to energize it, structure it, vortex it.
Wow.
Yeah, so it takes that energy from your cells.
Wow.
So the more you're doing all of this, and it's in nutrition as well, the more you're, toxic, or the more you're not energized, or keeping what in spirituality they call it, keeping a high vibe, man. But keeping that energy levels up more often than not.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. So that's where this comes in. It's like just artesian well spring water. It's already been vortexed. There are machines too. That there's structured water machines and stuff like that. There's really, there's way more people that know more about it, really, honestly. It's all over YouTube and all of those things and stuff.
Well, it's just a concept that I don't think, everybody is necessarily familiar with. This new form of water. Well, it's actually
the old form. Well, yeah, it's the old school. It's just, I mean, same thing in nutrition when I talk about, obviously you pull, like an apple has fructose, but it also has structured water in it.
Yes.
Or celery, right? That's the big thing, right? People, celery juice. Yeah, it's got all those nutrients in it. It's got the potassium and all of that. And that's in a form of a structured water, right?
Right.
So, yeah, go ahead.
So we can get better hydration. I'm just trying to lift up for folks how they can understand the difference between OH, H2O, and H2O. So this has a lower surface tension and can attract more nutrients, is my understanding from what I took a look at. And
yeah.
So and as far as vortexing goes, that's a magnetic energy, correct?
Yeah, it's just in nature, how it runs, and you vortex your water. Like sometimes people just take water, like those glass pitchers from that make tea out in the sun tea,
yes.
right? Some people just take that and then they put some trace minerals, liquid form trace minerals they buy at the natural, the health food store, and they put that in it, and they or squeeze a little lemon in it. That's why people always love to, the lemons are great because they give you a more alkalinity, which helps with also the structure of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the beneficial effects are that it can actually expel toxins. My understanding is because the action that it does that by is to break open the ionic bonds and thereby release the toxins.
Yeah.
So this
adds energy. Yeah.
It has it's apparently more dense than regular water. It has a lower surface tension and therefore can attract more nutrients. And I'm told that it actually improves your mood and your energy.
Oh, are you? Yeah. I mean, just recently I was in Mount Shasta and got about 3 gallons, and I just downed like a bunch of the water from there because it's right out of that spring, that artesian well. And man, oh yeah, I felt great.
Okay.
Highly energized, but they've got crystals and stuff. It comes from underground and under and there's an energy there. So obviously there's like more quartz crystals and all other crystals and crystals draw. They use it in technology too for lasers and everything, right? So it draws more energy.
Okay. So I got into the habit of going up to the Tub Springs here in Southern Oregon and Jackson County. We have many springs, and I would go up to the Tub Springs and fill up. But now that gas is a little expensive.
Yeah.
I just go to the little dispenser for the Mount McLaughlin water, and it's almost as good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, on the east end of town. So fruits and veggies naturally contain this form. And getting back to vortexing, I studied homeopathy with a great naturopath, and he suggested putting magnets under your water glass.
Yes, exactly. And don't forget to put right love or whatever on your bottle, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, that it's really susceptible to energy. I mean, think about it, right? Liquid, gas, and also solid.
Right.
So water is super highly transformative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I mean, it goes into that whole other thing, because if your body is water mostly, then it's going to be very susceptible to energies. Yeah. Especially if you're a person who's, that meditates or goes in nature or takes your shoes off and earths, and because there's electronic transference from your biofield physiology from other biofields.
All right. So in other words, this is optimizing our water. using the whatever amount of water we have and actually potentizing it, making it more, getting the most out of whatever quantity you have, which is definitely a topic that, heading into the summer months, we're all, focusing on.
Stay hydrated with structured water.
There we go. Yeah. All right, folks. So, little magnets, go to the hardware store, get yourself a little magnet, and, that's
they make other things too. Even in Ashland here.
Yes.
They have like the little crystals too you can stick in your water. Plus, I think I've seen, maybe it's down in the Shasta crystal shops or something. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's it looks like a little round rock.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's shungite or...
Shungite.
Yeah, shungite or one of the things.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. Might have been something else. But there's a disc that you can buy. I've got one too, but it's in my storage unit.
Yeah.
But there's a disc, and you can set your water bottle, and everybody usually has a water bottle, right?
Sure,
now we're hiking. As a friend said to me once, not from the Northwest, he said, "You guys all dress like you're ready to hike at any moment." I guess.
Yeah, and we are.
Yeah, I know.
In this area, why not?
I know.
All right. Well, that was a pretty good look at that fabulous topic.
Okay.
Of OH, H2O. Now, we get to talk a little bit, if you like, about your nonprofit, Three Decrees.
Sure.
Okay. So what are the 3 decrees?
Oh, so what happened was, I always knew when I was a kid, that I was going to write a metaphysical book for some reason. I just knew it. But I thought it was going to be all the weird stories. Like I've had all these weird supernatural experiences, like for instance, like sea kayaking on Culvis Passage on on the other side of Vashon Island in Seattle, and having an orcapod swim next to me, and then feeling their heartbeat, and then looking back into the woods, onto the island, and literally seeing indigenous people. Wow. Yeah, their spirit forms. Yeah. So I've had weird experiences. So I thought it was going to be that, but it wasn't. Anyways, so I was writing in my journal, because I used to write in my journal because I wrote a whole bunch of poetry and stuff, and I self-published a bunch of those books. And they're I think one of them's on Amazon too. Anyhow, so I'm writing in my journal, and it becomes like this thing, like what we call it nowadays, we call it a starseed activation instead of the Kundalini awakening, right? Okay. But we just, kind of a newer term as what it's kind of upgraded and stuff. We call it a starseed activation. Anyhow, my starseed activation, I was meditating. I was in Key West, Florida, meditating, and sometimes you get guided to do this grid work or this gatekeeper work. So with your own biofield or your chakras, your etheric body, you sit in a certain places. So, and I found out later that I was in this positioned towards the Bermuda Triangle. Doing my meditation, and that felt like there was a portals opening and all of this stuff. So anyways, I wrote this thing in my journal. I wrote a whole bunch of stuff, and it ended up towards the end of the book, I kept repeating these 3 statements, these 3 decrees. Okay. Right? Mm-hmm. So one, which is almost just like the Eckhart Tolle one, what is his one? Stay in the present moment of now. Well, mine was live in the temporal now. 2, choose love as your guiding force. 3, remember your divinity. You are a multi-dimensional light being having this human experience. So that was it, and it just kept popping into my head. And then I was like, it's kind of stupid. I don't know. But when I'd be riding my bike in between islands and somebody'd cut me off or something, instead of getting upset, I would do a breath, And then I would remember the 3 decrees. And then all of a sudden, I don't know why, it just gave me a broader, bigger picture, like to think about. And then you can kind of control your emotions better. I don't know. It works for me, and it's worked for some other people. And anyways, I wrote a book. It's on Amazon. Plus, there's a free PDF on my website and everything. So that's how that happened. And then that book, 3 Decrees, and then I built the website. So this all happened organically. So I built the website, and then that became my nonprofit, 3 Decrees. And then I went through and wrote, like, I don't know, 100 different blogs or whatever. And then I turned like 60 of them into videos too on YouTube. Instead of putting together like an online course of holistic health or how to live, all of these alternatives, I just put it out there for free. So, because I don't want any paywalls, really. I mean, there's certain, like space weather even, that just people don't have any idea how that's affecting the planet or where we're at. People don't even know where the solar system is. I mean, So I go through all of that in all the videos, and then I have all the social media too. And so I'm just keeping that running. I'm just keeping that nonprofit running and all that information there for people to find when they feel like maybe getting inspired by a piece or two of it, and then moving on to somebody else that's got better information, hopefully, that's how. So that's that, I guess. Did I answer the question?
Yeah. And if I could, I'd like to reintroduce you.
Sure.
Okay, folks, if you are just tuning in, my guest today is Travis Carper. He is a Ascension health coach, as well as the executive director of the nonprofit 3decrees.org. So we were talking about this nonprofit, 3 Decrees, having at the earlier part of our discussion talked about the structured water, OH, H2O. What else can you tell us about your nonprofit?
Just that all the information's out there, and then lately I had a meetup group before the pandemic. Before that, I had I had my PowerPoint presentation at the libraries across the United States and stuff. So I have a meetup group still, and then so at some point I will be giving free workshops on Zoom. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe not until this fall, actually, because I'm doing a lot of traveling and meditating, hiking, camping. It's summer, right? Okay. So, but anyhow, there's a PowerPoint presentation and everything. So probably be giving those for free as well. There's also all of that information's on the website and on YouTube. And then lately, I will just kind of try to keep up on all the space weather. And so we have I have a Telegram channel that's mostly where the good information is, because then I usually even give a couple of other links to where you can find out more about that information. So it seems like I'm concentrating more, because we already wrote everything, like all the alternatives, microalgae and spore probiotics and the structured water and iridology and axiotonal lines and how cosmic rays influence our biofield physiology, and I could go on and on and on. Anyhow, holistic health for the Ascension process. Okay. So there's a ton of health things, because people are having Ascension symptoms because our planet is shifting into a 4th density. So that means the particles are moving faster. We're in that kind of a zone. We're in the electromagnetic field of Alcyon, and then we're also coming into another cycle, which is the precession of the equinoxes, and that's a 26,000-year cycle. The other one was 11,000-year cycle. And then the other one, we're in a huge, big one, because the Sagittarian arm has already went around the galaxy. So we're heading in towards the galaxy, more stars, more light, hence the word enlightenment. Because, and if you just want, spiritual terminology or the descriptive words, it's basically same kind of thing if we have all these other new words with quantum theory and quantum biology and plasma cosmology and astroparticle physics and anyhow. So, yeah, all of that, I get into all that. Okay.
Really fascinating. Okay. Is there anything else you can think of that you'd like to share, either about the water, the structured water, or about your 3 decrees?
Well, just hopefully that everybody can consider what, obviously you don't go, packaged foods or fast foods, right? Take it off. Okay, what I usually say in the videos is like, take it off the vine, off the tree, out of the ground. And especially, consider that the people that have lived the longest and healthy and been able to like go for walks and stuff like that are people who've gardened. Because it's a bacterial world. It's a microorganism world, really. Mm-hmm. It's water and microorganisms and electromagnetic fields. Mm-hmm. So in the old days, we called it the morphogenetic fields. Okay, mm-hmm. There was a thing called chelantic morphogenetic science. Mm-hmm. Okay, so and it's almost the same as like utilizing quantum biology and quantum theory and quantum mechanics, really. So it's just almost the same wording, really. Anyhow, so some of these, just indigenous tribes, what they do and stuff, I'm sure. Just like if you want to be healthy, right, which helps your brain too. It helps with cognitive reasoning and your deductive reasoning and your critical thinking and the way you can discern information. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. So that's why, spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally, holistic health, that's all that means, is just utilizing all of those things. And there's all kinds of tiny little techniques and tools that you integrate into your life on a daily basis that can help. Like, for instance, green smoothies are really good, right? Mm-hmm. So you get into that habit because human beings, their habit forming usually takes 12 weeks. Huh. Yeah. So if you start doing something every day, like people that go to the gym, they end up, what happens is bad habits fall away, actually. So that's all you really have to concentrate on. Just concentrate on one good habit, right? This is when I had all the clients, right, from all over the world. We talk about this, like add one, like whether it's meditation with your shoes off, whether it's a green smoothie, whether it is drinking really good water, like vortex structured water, whatever, right? Something you add that kind of a holistic lifestyle technique, tool, right? Mm-hmm. You add a protocol to your life, and what happens is the bad habits start falling away. Because you start getting pretty healthy and you get your brain fired up, you're like, you'll make a decision like, am I going to pull into that drive-through or not? Mm-hmm. And you'll make a better decision. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Not all the time, not like I make great decisions all the time, like I told you before, like I had to have a coconut milk ice cream and I ate the whole thing, that little pint. Mm-hmm. But anyways, just, trying to do your best, out there. So if you guys have Ascension symptoms, because what that is like, because there's secondary particles that are hitting the planet, right? They're these chorus waves, or what they call in astroparticle physics. But anyways, they're in a gamma range. They're in that electromagnetic spectrum out here. Right, but not the man-made ones where it's the gamma radiation from nuclear. This is all from the cosmos. Mm-hmm. These are in harmony. Mm-hmm. These are in harmony when you hear people, talk about, like, the Hertz levels, like the root chakra and all that. They're at harmonics. There's a harmonic to it.
Okay.
So anyways, those are hitting. And then and some people get headaches, some people have flu-like symptoms, some people like this, that. Because think about your water is getting what they used to, the narrative of the old was, oh, you have junk DNA. Well, it's not junk DNA because it's an etheric DNA structure that's already there. The particles have all of the information. All existence, everything is conscious energy in some form or another, right? When you break it down on a quantum level, it's all. So all of those pieces that are coming in and transforming us, because it's a highly, it's a transmutational process. Morphogenesis is another word we use. So if you're having Ascension symptoms, then look into all the different little holistic health tech tools and techniques.
Great.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right.
To consider.
Yes. Well, that was a nice, a nice bit of information. I'd like to invite you to share with folks how they can get in touch with you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So 3decrees.org. Right.
DECREES.
Yeah.
.org.
Yeah, that. And then all my socials are off of that too. I mean, I have Twitter and Telegram and the YouTube, right? There's and then I put together other playlists of all the other people. There's all kinds of other information there too. I put together like all the other teachers. There's 3 or 4 other playlists besides mine.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. And
yeah.
And I see on
subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm just kidding.
YouTube. So if you could spell your name for the folks. So.
TRAVISCARPER.
Okay. And so you are on YouTube, Facebook.
Yeah, there's little pieces over at, probably BitChute and Rumble or something, because we all got kicked off, I got suspended for some of the information on YouTube, some of the information on, it was just regular holistic health stuff too.
Okay, but
yeah.
I actually did see you on YouTube. So.
No, I am. This is a long time ago.
Okay.
This is like over 2, this is the beginning of censorship about 2 years ago and stuff. We all started getting suspended and kicked off because we were like talking, whatever, it was like, that's too healthy stuff, and that's not a pharmaceutical thing,
right.
So you can't talk about that. So it was, if you're talking about for instance, I think 1962, probably even before that, but basic, the white willow bark, they took a compound, right? The pharmaceutical company, Bayer, took a compound out of that and synthetically reproduced it, and they call it aspirin, and they sell it to you when you can just go and just get some bark, some white willow bark for your headache.
Right.
Stuff like that. Anyway, so yeah, we had to make a Telegram channel because we really went deep into all the old school stuff, right? So
okay.
Yeah.
So there's a few ways that folks can get in touch with you, and your email. Did you want to give folks your email?
Sure.
Okay.
It's on my website though, but yeah, okay. It's just Travis and then a D and then Carper at yahoo.com.
Oh, okay. Travis D Carper at yahoo.com. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Travis,
I hope that helps anybody, or
sure.
maybe there's some inspiration there, or something at least.
I am sure, yeah.
But yeah, there's machines and all kinds of ways to vortex your water and get better than reverse osmosis water.
Interesting, yeah.
I have to buy some of that too, usually, but I try to buy if I have to buy water. Get some spring water, get something from an artesian well, or something, and maybe add your own trace. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, now we know why.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for talking with us today about water and its fourth, more optimizing form, and your nonprofit 3 Decrees.
Thanks. That was great.
Wonderful. All right.